Can the beckoned be so small?
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anokatos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him. After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Farewell.
Is there anything I can assist with?
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, Beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer. But they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the Beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the Wreath of Absolution. The Wreath of Absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last Primos to wear a Wreath of Absolution, Arches, is buried with one such circlet. Sakandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet. It lies in his crypt, in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. We must act.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The circlet of Arcase. And Anokatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. Farewell.
You're a vermin. The beckoned has come at last. It can only mean that the gods wish to take us.
Come. If Anokatos wishes us to retrieve the circlet, we will do it quickly. I wish to be done with this. Very well. Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels. They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago. There. That is the artifact you seek. The circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anokatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anokatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anokatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Be cautious in these lands. No one comes down here anymore. It is left to ruin, for the Colossi have no more need of these halls, or those interred within them. How many years did our masons toil to assemble this place? And look at...
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I have worked on this city for all my life. But this work of art, try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you, Beckoned, I know much is asked of the I wish you well.
You bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The Colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eris to the south. Salvation awaits. We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. Salvation waits. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru. And to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. We must act. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel my wrath! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Very well, Beckoned. My wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Come. In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up. The Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take this helm. Once reserved for our strongest fighters, it is only fitting you receive it. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come. We must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. We must act. You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. We are so close now.
I am glad to see you survived the Teryx Eries beckoned. And now I see that Anokatos is intent on fulfilling his whim. I would be careful. The temple is old. My soldiers are still dealing with the Jotun, but with Karunk dead, I can resume my other duties of keeping peace in these lands. Unfortunately, that includes this. Anokatos personally requested my guards, and I escort his followers here. I dislike this place. This cavern is nothing more than a tomb, a monument to Arcas and those that died following him to ruin. We learned definitively that all the trials we surmounted, all the strife we weathered in pursuit of Athene's love, had been in vain. But the most important lesson was learned by few. We cannot depend on the heavens to support us. We should make our own way in this world. Arcas and Anokatos have already shown me the delusions of faith. I only hope this farce is done with quickly. Farewell.
Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Almost. Done, Beckett. This mural was to celebrate the great triumph. Floats is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more. Come. We must finish this. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. Come. Almost done. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. The end of this awaits. Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not. Command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. Before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idilla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anokatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No. That zealous fool. Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anokatos from here. Take this shield. One of my soldiers dropped it when the Silent Choir ambushed us. I hope it protects you better. Be cautious in these lands. What is it? Anokatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his Silent Choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anokatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anokatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anokatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anokatos and his Silent Choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nyxaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. Be cautious in these lands.